Alright, guys, it is Tuesday, December 15th, 2020, at 4:09 p.m. Alright, let's take a look at these articles. We have first here in Scotland, hotels considering requiring all guests to have COVID vaccination. Hotels have now joined airlines in considering whether or not to mandate that all guests have proof of COVID vaccination before being allowed to stay. Several airlines have already announced plans to make the shot a compulsory condition of flying. According to anecdotal evidence, hotels and other forms of accommodation could follow suit. It says a reader on the Lockdown Skeptics website reported that a hotel in Scotland, which offers wildlife holidays, is preparing to adopt the no vaccine, no service policy. Should a vaccination program be rolled out in the next few months, then it is likely we will require all guests to have vaccination before arrival, states an item in the hotel's newsletter. 2020 has undoubtedly has been a hard year for the hotel, and they have already put in place a wide range of COVID-19 related safety measures that will have had significant cost and massively reduce their occupancy rates, states the reader. Alright, so this is in Scotland. I don't know how it's going to be in the United States, but just a heads up for you people traveling and staying in Scotland. Alright, next, Utah mink, the first wild animal in the U.S. to test positive for mutated coronavirus. One of the most inexplicably horrifying chapters of the global SARS-CoV-2 will be the mass slaughter of mink in Denmark after the animals were discovered to be infected with SARS-CoV-2. While these mink weren't the only animals to test positive, the list includes several cats and dogs as well as a tiger in the Bronx Zoo. For reasons of their own, they were worried about the threat that the mutated form of the virus could transfer the mink to human host in another example of zoonotic transmission. It says the Danes decided to slaughter 17 million of them. Headlines about the decision elicited outrage, yet authorities persevered. They didn't anticipate the fact that after the bodies had been buried, a bizarre and exceedingly rare natural phenomenon caused their corpses to literally rise from their mass graves, pet cemetery style, that caused an even bigger scandal, and then the Danish government scrambled to blame the incident on the contractor hired to cull and bury the minks. Well, pretty soon we might see a similar kind of catastrophe playing out in the American Southwest, where a wild mink has reportedly tested positive for COVID-19 in Utah, the first example of a wild animal testing positive for the virus in the U.S. Alright, so we have a wild mink in Utah having the disease. Alright, next. New Chinese study confirms COVID-19 attacks the testicles may affect male fertility. A new study has revealed the SARS-CoV-2, the virus which causes COVID-19, infects the testicles and likely impacts male fertility. A recall in March reported that doctors in central Wuhan raised concerns over testicle damage after observing a lower ratio of testosterone to luteinizing hormone. It says now, 9 months later, a team of 14 researchers from Wuhan, China, have published disturbing evidence from a small sample of patients that COVID-19 not only infects the testicles, but may interfere with sperm production by causing inflammation and massive loss in young sperm cells. Team's findings on how COVID-19 infects the testicles corroborates the March reporting. Namely, the SARS-CoV-2 spike protein binds to ACE2 receptors, which are produced throughout the body, including the seminiferous tubules, which carry sperm when it matures. It says, strikingly, in 4 of the 5 cases, GC or germ cells loss was massive, with only a few GCs left attached to the seminiferous tubules, reads the study published on Monday in Nature Cellular and Molecular Immunology. 5 COVID-19 patients included in the study were aged 51, 62, 70, 78, and 83 years of age, with control patients were 71, 78, and 80, and though they may lie in the older end of the curve where male fertility has begun to decline, the control group's germ cells were well aligned around the whole seminiferous tubules compared to the COVID-19 patients. Consistent with the immunohistochemistry results, showed significant increase in mRNA levels, AEC and TMPRS2 in the testes of all COVID-19 patients compared to control patient testes, read the report, which further supports the hypothesis that SARS-CoV-2 is able to attack testicular cells. It is unknown how the virus increases ACE2 production in the testes. It says collectively our findings provide direct evidence that SARS-CoV-2 can infect the testes and GCs, indicating the potential impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on spermatogenesis and male fertility. While the study is small with just 5 participants, the authors write that further study is essential to reveal the underlying mechanism of SARS-CoV-2 infection of testicular cells and the correlation of testes infection with the clinical course of COVID-19. It says here, perhaps men who have recovered from COVID-19 should have their sperm counts tested. Alright guys, I'll leave the link to these articles so you guys can check out for yourself the study and see what you guys think about it. Alright, finally, Putin finally congratulates Biden after Electoral College vote. A day after the U.S. Treasury Department hack that was blamed on Russia, President Vladimir Putin congratulated President-elect Joe Biden on Tuesday on his victory in the U.S. presidential election. 6 weeks after the election and 1 day after the Electoral College officially declared Biden's win. Putin has long delayed acknowledging a Biden win, while President Trump refused to accept the election results. On Tuesday, the Moscow Kremlin sent a congratulatory telegram for Biden for his victory in the United States presidential election. Vladimir Putin wished the president-elect every success and expressed confidence that Russia and the United States, which bear special responsibility for global security and stability despite the differences, can truly contribute to solving many problems and challenges that the world is currently facing, the Kremlin statement read. Alright, so I'll leave a link for that as well so you guys can check it out. That's it for this video. Hit like and subscribe for more news, and see you guys next time. God bless.